It's legendary, the Belfast scene. Being at the top of the street where he lived, and also the fact that it's probably one of the few non-political murals in the area, and it's
thinking about your woman, wishing I could hold you tight. Feel so low.
Whenever we had a problem, we went to Rab McCullough, and that's fact.
Can't get you out of my mind.
Well, this is the problem. No such thing as problems, only solutions.
Yeah, and why here?
Why here?
Yeah.
Basically where he lived.
Yeah.
And then he also worked in the leisure centre as a lifeguard.
Oh, okay, right, which is here, right, okay.
It's good to honour.
The detail is incredible of it. Why does Rab McCullough mean so much, do you think, to people?
Just because everyone went to the Empire, I suppose. It's
Yeah,
like
21 years or something he was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, if you knew anything about the Belfast sort of music scene, you would have known about Rab.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my name is Liam Turner. I played for about 10 or 12 years with Rob as like his sideman, basically. Did play probably about 70 or 80% of the gigs with him in the Empire and the festivals.
One thing that amazes me is just how respected he was by many musicians around Belfast and elsewhere. Why do you think he has such an appeal?
Rob had time for everybody, you know, every musician who came up, you know, he very often brought, you know, young guys up on the stage, and he had no airs and graces about that. He was just very, very humble, very respectful of other people, trying to get themselves, make themselves better.
I am Chris Taplin.
Okay.
I am a local blues player here in Belfast.
And how did you get interested in the blues in the first place?
Well, from a very young age, I was always surrounded by music, and sort of when I was younger, I seen a couple of my family's old tapes of Chuck Berry and B.B. King and different things like that. But I started going out to the bars at a young age and actually seen Rab at a very young age. Rab McCulloch, a local legend here. Seen Rab at a very young age and sort of knew that's what I wanted to do.
I was really taken aback when his widow came on at Warren Point and you stopped mid-gig and gave a big hug. It was a lovely moment, actually.
Well, I thought that myself. We hadn't seen Marion in quite a wee while, and I didn't even know she was there. So to see her, I was laughing because I seen back the footage, and everyone stopped playing. To embrace Marion, which you know, Marion's a big part of all our lives. She has been for a long time now. You know, she's one of the best.
A round of applause for the wonderful Marion McCulloch. Rob McCulloch's wife, widow. Brilliant to see you here tonight. This whole festival really is dedicated to Rob, one of the main men in Irish rock and roll.
In my case, I knew him for years, but I started playing with him because in a work situation, he turned up one day at my work situation, and he told me to go down to the Empire one night and just get up on stage with him, and it sort of grew from there. I was very nervous at the start, and it just grew and grew and grew until eventually I became part of the furniture, really. He was a very humble man, very intelligent man, very gracious with other players, and so he brought me on. I wouldn't be playing on stage today if it wasn't for Rab. I'd kind of given up guitar for a while, but he got me back up and going again, and playing with him gave me the confidence to keep going.
I think that, like any musician, there's an honesty with Rab, transparency, and anyone that knew my dad would know that he's just a genuine article. Rab was growing up was very shy. He had a speech impediment, and he was lacking confidence. Really, even though he was naturally gifted. Rab was getting started music from a really young age. His father worked, in the Merchant Navy, and he used to travel overseas. So he used to, bring music back from anywhere that he would land, especially the States.
Okay.
So some of the early stuff that Rab listened to around the house was, going back to the big band stuff, Louis Armstrong and all the jazz and some of the blues stuff as well. Rob's father actually was in the first ship that went, I believe it was Hiroshima, after the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
Everyone on that ship, radiation didn't make it. So unfortunately, he passed when Rob was only 7. So it was a rough time for him as a kid. One of the first things that Rob got was, a little fort of the Alamo.
Okay.
Rob was a real history buff. Rob's older brother, Renee, had bought him a guitar from one of the second-hand shops for a $5, and he ended up pretty much locking himself in his room and learning how to play.
Okay.
So he was self-taught, and I guess, he used to listen by ear to the records.
Who he has played with.
Well, I think that it's interesting. Some of the bands that are still around today, Rob went back with playing with guys in the 60s, guys that were in bands with Rory Gallagher, Van Morrison. Back in the early days, you would have had clubs like, the Pan Club and the Sammy Houston Jazz Club, and it was a real meeting place for musicians. So Rob would be jamming, with all sorts of guys back in the day. Yeah, the bigger names that he had an opportunity to open up for Jimi Hendrix in 1967 when he played the Whitlow Hall. Remember Rob telling me he was man of few words. Hendrix must have been amazing. He goes, it was great, and that was it. And the stories later on, he toured. He opened up for AC/DC in Belfast and Dublin at the Ulster Hall. Yeah, at the Ulster Hall gig, Rob was in a band called. It was 1979. The band was called Baraka. Yeah, he had opened for Jethro Tull. There was a lot of bands come over from England and the States, but then obviously when things kicked off with the Troubles, there was a lot less international musicians coming through.
Sure.
To Belfast. Of course, Rory was up every Christmas, for a Christmas show, but at the Ulster Hall. But before that, Rob and Rory were friends from a young age. they used to share. He would come up from Cork, and Rob would have gear, amps, and sound systems on the ground. So there were, musicians would lend each other amps. He was asked to go to London and record and play with other big names, but he just felt like it was more appropriate to stay in Belfast and raise a family. Hook up a lot of guys in the States when we got him out to Memphis and out to the Midwest. There was some guys that he had always wanted to play with, so we were able to make that happen for him. And I was dating this girl from the Midwest, from St. Louis.
Okay.
And I flew Rob and my mum out, Marion. He was by Rob's side the whole time. I flew my mum and dad out to meet the girlfriend's parents at the time. There was talk of getting married, and her father was best friend with Chuck Berry's music director in St. Louis. The music director had said that, he says, Rob, I heard you're a great guitar player. And Rob was like, not bad, They gave him a Strat, and he knew all the Chuck Berry stuff inside out.
Okay.
So he ended up playing with Chuck Berry's band in a place in the Soulard area, which is tough area in East St. Louis. The band asked us to go on the road. My mum's like, no, we're going back to New York. We've got plans for restaurants in Little Italy, and we're going to be in the Waldorf Astoria, and all these things that were planned. And I'd said to her, look, the next stop is Memphis. If I bring you to Graceland, because my mum was a huge Elvis fan. If I bring you to the Jungle Room in Elvis's house, what do you reckon? She goes, if you do that, no problem. And we did. So off we went on the bus and down to Memphis, and it was a real turning point because I had never seen that kind of excitement.
Yeah.
With my dad, because all those places, like we went into the Sun Studios where Elvis recorded, and Jerry Lee Lewis and Howlin' Wolf and all the greats, and we were in that studio, and Rob was playing around town with different blues cats, and the joy and the smile in his face, I'd never seen that kind of excitement, from him. And from there, I decided I wanted to make that happen again, and I left the restaurant bar business, and then started to manage them full time.
Okay.
Ended up doing 4 tours of America. Had him right across. I was based out of New York, so was able to put him up with some of the best players that were based in the States.
Yeah.
Guys who played with Clapton and Jeff Beck's drummer, and all these like quality studio guys, and hired guns that would be living around New York. I was able to hire these guys to play with Rob, and he was in his element. There was so many great local clubs: Manny's Car Wash, Chicago Blues. He played with Sun Seals, Muddy Waters guitar player. There were just it was a very rich music scene in New York, so I'd always plan a trip and a tour based around him connecting with other great musicians, And he would never play the same song the same way twice. Whatever he was feeling, people really tapped into that. Rob had that speech impediment going on where he started to learn that it was more of a breathing rhythmic thing.
Yeah.
And the music really helped.
I've had my fun. If and I don't get well no more.
So he never started when he sang at all, which I always thought was fascinating. But when he would talk to you at a table, sometimes he would gently tap his foot to keep time.
My name's Ryan, and we're here in Andersonstown, and what Glen's work is truly amazing. It's absolutely fabulous what he can do with freehand.
There's been people sort of almost in tears looking at it, and a lot of people have been coming over and saying they're really glad that he got some recognition and all, and like a respected man from the area for just other reasons than just music. He said he was a lifeguard in the leisure centre for about 25 years, and unfortunately that's where he actually passed away. So
when Rob passed, it was it was a shock to everyone, shock to the family, obviously, and the community. One of the interesting things about him that I'd learned more was when he passed, the amount of people that come out, show their respect, pay their respects, and the amount of stories and things that the memories people had of him, not just in where he grew up in West Belfast, time over in East Belfast and North Belfast, where he originally came from. Rob used to always say that, the blues is a healer, and the music it's universal.
He played in the East and he played in the West, and everybody knew he was one of the best. He knew all the grooves from Hendrix to Muddy. He knew all the grooves from Hendrix to Muddy. He would do anything to help anybody. He traveled this land with a red hot boogie band. He traveled this land with a red hot boogie band. He rocked and he rolled until they called him Cool Hand. Well, he didn't care nothing about fortune and fame. He didn't care nothing about fortune and fame. And sometimes I wonder, will we ever see his likes again? And now he's up in heaven, jamming with Hendrix and Berry. And now he's up in heaven, jamming with Hendrix and Berry. And Elvis is singing, and the angels are swinging. I hope to see you, brother, in the sweet by and by. I hope to see you, brother, in the sweet by and by. I'll never forget you until the day that I die. And that is the ballad of Rab McCullough.
As you can see behind us, myself and Jordan, we said we got to do the Rab McCulloch stage this year. The Rab McCulloch stage was at the Black Box, which was a great success. Jordan went round, he said to me a day, we got to get the banner up here. So we have the banner. From now on in, at the Belfast City Blues Festival, there will always be a Rab McCulloch stage as long as the festival goes forward. He was a people's musician, he was a friend, and he was someone who we love and still love.
Thinking about your woman, wishing I could hold you tight. Feel so low, can't get you out of my mind. Stare at your picture on my wall. Sit by my telephone, wishing you would call. I feel so low, can't get you out of my mind.
It crosses all borders. And Rob, I think, really quietly went about his business by uniting people through the music. Like, the blues is really his religion, So in the North, pardon me, with the challenges of the Troubles over the years, Rob really was a person that brought people together through the music, and it was something that he was really worked hard on. I think he's definitely remembered from right across the community, and I think that was something that he would be proud of. That knowing that it was for him, it was inclusive of everyone, and giving people less fortunate than himself or even young musicians a chance. So he's definitely a legend, as we know.
Yeah.
You know, I think he'll be remembered for his unassuming, humble, you know, just way about him. No ego, zero ego, and just a wonderful human being.
Telephone is ringing. Hope my baby's on the line. The rain stopped falling. The sun is gonna shine. Please come on home. Can't get you out of my mind. Can't get you out of my mind.